between humans and community members is low, very low. But that doesn't mean the occasional surprise baby from a one-night stand doesn't happen. Not to mention accidents that leave our young orphaned and assimilated into human society before we realize what's happened. The thing is, we're not human. Community species have different needs and abilities. Take vampires, for example. Their children are at most risk because vampire young need blood to survive from about the time they begin eating solid food. Without an adult who can aid them, they'll die. Demons can teleport. Can you imagine being a teenager dealing with puberty and all the crap that comes with it, and suddenly finding yourself in a different place with no knowledge of how or why? That's what happens to young demons who think they're human. My job is to investigate reports from concerned members of the community who think they've found one of our missing people, and then tell them who they really are and introduce them to the community. Sometimes it's amazing. I've had countless people break down in tears and thank me for showing them they're not freaks and giving them the first sense of security they've ever had in their lives. But I've also had people refuse to accept the truth, spit on me, and attempt to hit me. Those cases are a lot harder, and not just because of the violence. If I can't get through to those people, we need to lock down their abilities. It's a horrible, horrible thing. Even if they're not aware of what they are and what they can do, it's still a part of them. Stripping that away, walling it off from them, can change their personality and leave people feeling forever as though something is missing. I hate those cases. Protecting the community as a whole from humans is our top priority, but that doesn't mean we don't hurt for those who fall through the cracks. Tonight shouldn't be a rough case, though. Incubi tend not to have the type of personality that takes to religious indoctrination, and since they're usually ready for anything, as a species, they're a lot more accepting of new information, even when they've been raised as human. I can count on one hand the number of incubi-succubi cases I've had that went bad. I'll stroll in, break the news, put the incubus in touch with all the right support agencies, maybe do some quick meditation with him to help him control his powers in the short term, and be done before business hours are over. Maybe I'll knock off work early and find someone to keep me company tonight. It's been a while since I've been with anyone other than my right hand. Piece of cake. Motherfucking shitballs. How did nobody notice this guy before? I drive slowly down the street toward his house. I don't need the GPS to tell me which one it is. He must have lived here for a while, like decades, because the whole street is saturated with the residue of his enthrallment ability. His house is metaphorically glowing with it. It's just all love and welcome and warm feelings. It could be worse, right? This kind of enthrallment, the type that leaks from an incubus because he's never been taught how to use his mental shields, is reflective of personality rather than his need to feed on sexual energy. So I know right away that this guy is generally a happy, friendly person who likes others to feel welcome and comfortable. He wants it so much, he's projecting that desire out into the world. In this case, that's harmless. It just means he's probably got some really mellow, friendly neighbors. But as a rule, it's not a good thing. Just imagine if he was a naturally violent person. I park the car in front of his house and get out, then study the building over the roof of the car. It's neat and well-maintained and decorated for the human holidays. I've never really understood the concept of Christmas. I know it's part of one of their religions, and I think this is the one that's all tangled up in a sorcerer who pretended to be the son of God in an attempt to teach humans to behave better. But then where does the fat guy in the red suit come into it? And why are humans teaching their children that home invasion is something to look forward to? Anyway, as confusing as the overall concept is, even in the daytime I can tell that the lights decorating the house will look pretty when they're on. And rather than inflatable animals, like some of his neighbors, what's that about? He's opted to decorate a live tree in the front yard, complete with fake gifts underneath. It all looks a little laden down with the snow we've gotten today, but it's a good effort. I'm just about to head up to the neatly shoveled